I've been saying it for a while now. The middle class is getting squeezed tighter and tighter. New data shows what income you need to earn in each state to be a part of the middle class. I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Yeah, that's right. Over the past few years, it's just, this has happened, this happened, this happened, and putting it all together, it feels like the middle class is getting squeezed. And you need to have a thriving middle class in order for the economy to be stable. Now, why would I say that before we look into some interesting data that was just published? To me, I don't have a great definition of the middle class. And I'll tell you what the folks here that did this research, how they're defining the middle class. I don't have a great definition. But to me, it's both, qualitative and quantitative, a little bit of both. It feels like you should be able to get an education without sacrificing too much of your future income, okay? And I know we have a wide range of cost in college degrees right now, but it seems like you should be able to get an education, should be able to afford a modest home, a reasonable home, afford a vehicle, put food on the table, and still save up for a rainy day. Now, I know that's subjective because we all have choice with our resources. But if we just go through those, the cost of college over the past few decades have far surpassed normal inflation. The cost of owning a home, right? We are at unaffordable levels that we've never seen before. The cost of owning a vehicle also just awful. And a lot of folks are getting squeezed with their finances. I saw just recently data showing how many people are behind on student loans. And obviously we've got record high credit card debt, record high credit card interest rates. And so, all of this, as well as a few other just different anecdotal kind of policies or kind of signs just lead me to feeling like, the middle class is just getting squeezed. It's harder than it used to be. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it takes a little bit more intentionality. It takes a little bit more planning. It takes a little bit more proactiveness in order to financially make the right steps and do those things that I would say are part of my definition of the middle class. Well, I saw this data recently. I thought it was very interesting. Not sure exactly what the conclusions are from it other than what I just said, but they have a very clear definition of how they're defining the middle class. And that is, they're defining it as earning between 2/3 and twice the median household income. So this is defining the middle class not on choices they've made, but as an income that they earn. And if you're going to have an objective measure, that's, I guess, one way to do it. Although, like I said, there's lots of choice that we have with how we use our resources, right? I said, to me, middle class should be able to afford a modest home. Well, what if you're wanting a 3-stall garage in a certain neighborhood and certain features and all that? That might not be a modest home, and you might have stretched yourself financially and thus crowded out room for some other things. But they're defining, and this folks that are doing the research here, defining middle class as earning between 2/3 and twice the median household income. So this is household income amount per state that sort of encapsulate that amount that defines the middle class. Take a look here, and no surprise, the top 5, even top 6, are the states that you would expect, the states that are known for a really high cost of living: Massachusetts, New Jersey, Maryland, New Hampshire, California, of course, Hawaii as well, where, high 60s to 200,000, and that's an enormous range. But that's how they're defining this. Hey, as a household, you need to have this much income in order to be a middle class. That's in middle class. That's an enormous range, and therefore enormous choices and kind of sort of consequences, if you will, or output from those choices. If you go right to the middle, the 25th state, we got Georgia, so Idaho, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nebraska, all sort of in that same 50,000 on the low end, 150 on the high end. Again, those are very different lifestyles between 50,000 and 150,000, but that's how it's being defined sort of at the average, halfway through the 50 states. Where I live, Indiana, and our offices right on the border here, Indiana and Michigan. We've got a couple offices in Michigan as well. And yeah, sort of, I would expect that they would be in the bottom half of income that would be needed to afford middle class, somewhere around 40,000 up to 140,000 as well. Again, big range, but that's defining the middle class. Interesting data. Not sure what you're concluding, what you're thinking about. Obviously, where you live, extremely important. I do wonder if over time there will be shifts in population as the other, housing affordability and some of these other things that I mentioned that sort of, to me, define the middle class, how they continue to shape and be shaped in the years ahead. But to me, I'd go back to what I said earlier. Right? That maybe it's always been it needed to be this intentional, but it just feels like it needs to be more intentional right now about making wise steps in order to build your financial life and be prudent in building your financial success. More planning is needed, more proactiveness, getting an early start, and being more aware of some of these big choices like buying a house or buying a vehicle or having the right emergency fund. Those things just aren't going to happen by accident anymore because of affordability issues and so on. And so needs more proactiveness, needs more planning. So work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.